talk about eating out versus eating at home, and also some monthly expenses you may incur while you're living in Ecuador.
Yep.
First, let's talk about eating out, which we do a lot. When we first got here, we were eating out a lot. So the chart that's behind me, or the spreadsheet that's behind me, discuss or shows inexpensive daily restaurant promotions, specials that you will find in Ecuador, especially here in Salinas, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A lot of the costs for breakfast can be anywhere between, I have $2.99, but it can be $3, $3.50, sometimes $4. Mm-hmm. And I decided to base it on the minimum cost.
Right, and that usually includes like either a juice or a coffee, or sometimes both.
Yes, sometimes both. And if you're going to, and it's based on 2 people. So what you see here is $5.98, so roughly $6 for breakfast. And what you will spend in a week, if you eat every day, mm-hmm. you're going to spend about $41, $42.
That's just for breakfast for 2 people.
For 2 people.
For a week.
For a week. And on a monthly basis, you'll spend about $168, roughly $167.50, mm-hmm. and a year $2,000, about $2,010. Yeah. So not a lot if you think about what you spend in the U.S. for breakfast for 2 people.
Yeah.
So for lunch, almuerzos, you can spend again $3.50, anywhere $3.50 to $5 for lunch. And that's like $7 a day for 2 people.
Mm-hmm. And just keep in mind, we're still on the inexpensive side.
Yeah, inexpensive. So $50 a week, $196, $200 a month, and about $23.50 roughly for a year. And dinner, there's a lot of dinner promotions that are like $5.
And dinner varies depending on where you are and what you want, and it's wildly varied when it comes to dinner.
And you get a lot. So like the last time we ate out, we had a whole fish. I think you may have posted that. Mm-hmm. We had a whole fish, rice and beans, and it didn't come with the drink.
Right.
So
it's a $5 promotion.
Yeah. So $10 between the 2 of us. And weekly $70, monthly $280, and then yearly about $3,400. So if you eat out every day for a year, you would spend roughly $7,722.
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah.
Yeah. So not bad.
Yeah, considering I probably spend that much just in lunches.
Yes.
In the United States.
So if you're going slightly higher, a higher cost meal, depending on what you order, it can vary. Your breakfast can be $4.99 or higher. Lunch is $7.99, and dinner $9.99. That's just slightly higher. So I'm not going to go through all of that but you can see on the spreadsheet. More costly meals, yes, you can definitely get a breakfast for like $9.
Yeah.
Depending on what you want, because you can order a promotion and then ask for additional to go with it. Like you may want the waffles and you want a side order of eggs, which is an a la carte to go with your promotion. Almuerzos, I don't think we've ever spent like $12 just on one person.
Right.
For
and
lunch.
The almuerzos are usually, here in Ecuador, they're usually a soup in combination with some meal combination.
And a juice.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that that's the only option for lunch.
Right.
Like when it comes to lunch, you can order anything.
Exactly.
We're just talking about the almuerzos, which are usually the least expensive lunch option.
Exactly.
But they're a lot of times, they're sometimes the best lunch option because they're inexpensive and they're really good.
Yeah, and we don't have a problem with eating Ecuadorian
We love eating
food.
Ecuadorian food, actually.
We're not actually looking for American food. We have eaten some American food, but not as much.
Right.
Dinner. Now, there are some places, like if you want a more expensive dinner, like you want steak or you want costillos, which is rib,
Yeah, it just depends on what you want. Yeah.
At certain restaurants, you can spend anywhere from $14 to $17 on one person.
Right. Yeah, and that's expensive here.
Right. And so with that, just looking at if you ate out every day for a year on a more costly meal, you can spend around $25,000 to $26,000 a year.
Yeah.
And if that's not an option, like if that's not costly for you, and it's something you would love to do, by all means.
If it's no problem, then you're probably not even watching our videos.
So. That's true.
Yeah.
So purchase items for prepared meals at home. I based it off of what we would spend in a year to get the cost per meal, monthly, weekly, and daily, and it's $2.50 for the both of us if we go by yearly by what we spend
a day.
So going to the supermercado, if we spend about $1,200, it's like $1.79 and $3.57 a day.
Yeah.
And paper goods, we don't buy that often. So, like your napkins, your toilet tissue. If we decide to buy cups or plates, which is not often, you're spending less than $120 a year. Yeah. And that's like 18 cents per person. Yeah. So 36 cents a day. Yeah. And household supplies, about $240, because you're not going to buy those on a weekly basis. No. So $240 a year is not bad. That's 36 cents a person, 71 cents a day. Mm-hmm. So for a year, if you buy and cook at home, you spend about $1,500 a year. Now, granted, we don't cook every day. Yeah. And we may cook dinner and eat out for lunch, or eat out for breakfast, or eat at home for breakfast and eat out for lunch. It just depends. Right.
And that number, it doesn't necessarily include all of our grocery shopping. Yeah. This is really just about what we pay for at the stores and the markets for our breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Yeah. I know, 1,000 or whatever it was doesn't sound like a lot. No, that's not what we're spending at the grocery store. No. In a year. It's just what we actually spend to eat. Yeah.
And so on the next spreadsheet, we're going to talk about expenses, your monthly expenses that you can incur, which includes rent, your electricity, your utilities, transportation, cell phones, and I'll let Steve discuss those things.
Okay. So as far as rent, it wildly varies. We didn't include what we pay for rent, because what we pay isn't what someone else might pay or might want to pay. But we just put a range, $400 to $1,500. We'll pretty much get you whatever you want.
Not necessarily.
Well, it depends on where you want to live.
Where you want to live and how many bedrooms, baths.
That's a really good range, though. Yeah. And that's based on, the size, the location, the number of bedrooms and baths, if you have an ocean view, a city view, if you're somewhere in the mountains, whatever. So that is just based on your budget, honestly. What are you willing to spend for living expenses? Especially, if you're renting, obviously. So water and gas. Where we happen to live is included. It's not included. They're billed together. So there's
water and gas.
Yeah, there's no separate together. Water bill and gas bill. It's billed together. Here in Ecuador, what we found is it's really inexpensive for water and gas. So we put the range.
And it just depends on how much you're using.
Exactly.
Because you may not have a washer and dryer. It could be less. Yeah. It depends on how often you're washing.
Yeah, it depends on if you have a gas stove. Yes. So, we happen to have gas.
Induction. We have induction stove.
We have induction stove. We have a gas dryer.
Gas dryer.
And the water is heated with gas.
Yes.
But like we said, that may vary depending on where you live. It's so far for us really inexpensive. Electricity, same thing. It doesn't cost very much here. We haven't really run our air conditioners, so
it's not that.
Yeah, we're at the very low end of the electricity.
So depending on where you live in the country, it can be higher, because it can be very humid and you
you may want to run your air conditioning, or you just may not like the temperature where you live and you want to run it. Who knows?
Right.
But we use our lights the same way we would have back in the States. We don't waste electricity.
No.
And it's once again on the very low end. Transportation, so taxis for that.
And taxis vary because you can walk here, you can walk to the Mercado. You may not want to walk to the Mercado. You may want to catch a taxi. Just depends on, because you may have some, what do you call them? Knee issues.
Yeah, you may have, leg, knee, foot issues or whatever. Just health issues in general. You may not, you may just want to take a taxi to wherever you're going. Typical ride here is $2-ish. And
it
if
depends.
It depends. Sometimes one taxi driver will charge you more than another. The more comfortable you get with talking to the taxi drivers, it seems like the less they charge you.
Yeah.
And if they kind of sense that you don't know what you're talking about or you're kind of lost, then they may charge a little bit more.
You get gringo.
Right. Yeah. Or you can do like we do quite often as well. There's one taxi driver that we may call, and we'll just pay him by the hour, and it kind of works out. It kind of works out better that way. If we're going to be out
for a while, we just hire a taxi driver.
And most of them are willing to do that if you just ask. Cell phones. We haven't spent very much money on cell phone plans here.
You have to depend, and it depends on what you need. Your usage.
Your usage and your needs.
Because we're not on.
We don't work from our phones or anything. So 10 gigs for a month is plenty for us. We've never used more than like 4. And that only costs us $10 a piece.
I don't even know if I even use 4.
Yeah. And I know I tried to use more than 2 or 3 gigs, and I still only made it to 4. So cell phones, the plans are really inexpensive here. Wi-Fi, depending on where you live, it may be included in your rent. Where we live, it's included. But for in general, there's a company here called NetLife. They have Wi-Fi all over the place. Their price range is anywhere between $25 and $40. Usually, they have one plan that's like $200 or something crazy, but usually between $25 and $40. Internet's fine. I know it is because I upload videos and I know how long it should take.
So
the internet's just fine.
Yeah, we have no issues with the internet.
Water jugs. So separate from the water bill, you have water jugs, good old water jugs. Because just like, if you've ever been to like Mexico, you can't necessarily drink the water out of the tap. So these things are everywhere. There's people selling them every store sells them. There's guys that ride around in trucks selling them. Typically, they shouldn't cost more than $1.50, depending on where you get it from.
Yes.
If you live in like a condo building, they may have those jugs available for all the residents, but they're going to upcharge a little bit because they bought it from someone else.
Yes, and so they're going to make a profit.
Right, they're going to make a little money off them. So, a brand new jug might cost you $6.50 with one person. It might cost you $10 with someone else.
So you just need to know and ask around.
Yeah.
If you like your neighbors, wherever you're staying, ask how much it would cost, and just don't get green.
Yeah, and if you see a delivery truck, get the number, call them, see how much they charge, and they'll bring them to you. Yeah. And that's what we started.
That's very
doing.
convenient.
Yeah, it's very convenient. So that's pretty much it.
And if y'all have any questions, please leave a comment down below, and we'll be happy to answer those questions if it pertains to our situation.
And also you can also go on our Facebook page, Twitter, email. The email address is in the info page on the YouTube channel. So if you need to send a message privately, you can do it like that.
Yes.
All right.
So like, share, and subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
We look forward to talking to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.